All right, guys, so it's been 6 months. 6 months, can you believe it? Since we've had our Lanshan 2. So it's time to go back and look at it. Was it worth the $100 we paid for it? And initially, my first impression is, you're damn right it was. What do you think?
I love it.
All right, so let's go take a look at it. See what's happened, damage, anything else. Okay, so initial walk up. You will notice that it is dirty. I didn't clean this tent for this review, guys. Come on now, you know me. I'm gonna show you how it is. Look at the dirt. Dirty, dirty, dirty. But as you can see, even though she's dirty, all the tie out points are solid. All the corners are solid. The vestibules are good. Lines are good. Still using everything from the factory, not changing out anything. Now, we did bend one of our extra stakes at Zaleski. That's just because the ground is boulders there. Just hard as a rock, and I stepped on it and bent it. My bad. There's nothing wrong with this. Now, in a second here, we're going to go inside and check the netting and everything else. But I want to say this thing has been spray waterproof with silicone twice. It has been shot with permethrin twice. And it's still as nice as the day we got it. The Velcro all still holds. The lines are all still good and tight. This is all factory stuff, guys. I didn't change nothing. $100 bill, this could be yours. So let's go inside, check out the inside. All right, guys, let's do the interior walkthrough here. First, I want to say that we didn't clean crap. We're showing it to you guys just the way it is, just the way we've kept it, just right off their trip. We set it up. We're not trying to hide anything. It's dirty. There is sand in here on the floor that I'm sitting on. I want to show you real deal. We don't want to pretty anything up for you. We want you to see it at your worst. That way you can know what at its best it can handle. So let me get you turned around here and we're going to walk through the inside of this thing. Okay, as you can see, we've got sand all over from where we just camped on the Foothills Trail sandbank. This time I will leave that door open and we will shake it out and it'll all come out. Overlook the mesh. It's got a dead bug I squished there. We got some dirt on the inner liner right here and here. Need cleaned off. But the floor is solid, no rips. We do not use a ground sheet, guys. All right? And we have no rips in our floor. Now, we've discussed it, and we are going to use Tyvek as the cold season comes on, but more as another layer of moisture barrier. But there's our netting. There is absolutely no holes in our netting. Our zippers still work. Our hooks are still up here. Everything's still good. No issues at all. Pockets are still good. And we ain't holding anything back. I mean, what you see is what you get. Sand. All right, now for this part, I just wanted to have a talk because it drives me absolutely crazy to hear people bash this tent because they say it's small. It's an ultralight tent, guys. It's not supposed to be big. We're trying to keep the weight down. Basically, your bathtub floor in this thing is anywhere between 44 and 46 inches, depending upon how you stretch it out. Our two pads in here are 22 inches each, which makes 44, and there's still a little bit of room at the seam. I am not a little guy. I'm about 250 pounds, 6 foot, 1, somewhere in there. My wife...
Ain't little either, but I'm not saying my weight.
How tall are you?
5'1".
Okay, she's 5'1". We're not little people. We don't claim to be little people. But I can tell you now, we have no problem sleeping this thing. Now, we can both sleep on our bellies, we can both sleep on our backs, and we're comfortable enough. We're technically side sleepers, so I want to put that out there because yes, we sleep on our sides. But the sleeping pads that we're running are actually a little wider than some of the other foldable sleeping pads. A lot of them are 20 inchers. But I wanted to lay down, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put it to where my feet touch the bottom of this and see how much room's above my head. But we're going to lay next to each other on our backs first, then we're going to turn on our sides, all right? And then we'll sit up to show you kind of from where you're sitting how it's going to look. I'll break it in different clips with different views from the camera so you can kind of see better, okay? So the first one we're going to do is laying on our backs, and we'll give you the best view I possibly can with the way things are set up of how much room we have with me having my feet touch the bottom bathtub floor. As you can see, there's a lot of room between my head and the other end of the tent. My feet are actually touching the bathtub floor at the other end. There's at least a foot there, if not more. So let's turn over on our sides and see how much room we have. So now we're going to lay down on our sides. The camera's going to move a little bit because you guys are sitting on top of our sleeping pads. But this will give you a width range. We will both put our backs to the tent sides, but not actually touch them. Okay, I am not touching the tent side, but I have about 2 inches behind me. That way no bugs could ever get me. But this is how much room we have. We are big people, guys. Come on. This is a pretty big tent. Okay, now guys, we wanted to show you, if you're stuck in here in the rain, look at the distance. So you can sit up comfortably in this tent. This was a selling point with us. We loved our little scout tent because with our poles, it was only 2 pounds. You know, just for that tent, but we couldn't sit up in it in the rain. And that drives me nuts. If I'm stuck in this tent for severe weather and we're gonna have to play cards or check out our phone, I don't wanna be forced to lay down. That was one of the big reasons why we didn't go with something like the tarp tent or something, because there's room to sit up, but it's cramped. I wanted something to where I could sit up and it had full breathe through of double vestibules that we could open up if necessary. But for height, I mean, you can sit up in a tent for hours on end. That means you're not stuck with your neck crimped, you know, for hours on end. So, inside of tent is just phenomenal and large. And I don't know where people say these things are small. I think that this is perfect for 2 people and what you'd need to do. Or 1 person and a dog. Mm-hmm. I would even say we could probably squeeze my 3-year-old granddaughter in here between us if we had to.
Now, I will say we don't put all of our gear inside of the tent.
No, we put it out in the vestibule where it goes. And we still have a full vestibule that we can use if we need to.
There is at least half of our gear that goes inside of the tent, though.
By the time everything's unpacked, it is.
I mean,
our camera gear goes in here, things like that, yes, but we still have plenty of room. Okay, so 6 months in, you've seen the tent. You've seen what it's gone through. If you don't know right off the top, if you're not used to watching our videos, I'm gonna give you a quick ramble off. Vesuvius, Manistee, Foothills, Zaleski, can't even think right now. There's a whole list of them where this thing's been. This thing's been all over, all right? We have put this thing through the ringers. It's come home wet. It's come home beat up. We have never actually sat down and cleaned it. We've shaken it out a couple times. We've never cleaned it. Even before we put our sealer on and our permethrin, we never cleaned it. We just brush it off. We are not nice to this tent. After 6 months, though, I think it's pretty clear that it can take some abuse for a $100 tent. That said, let's talk about things we like and don't like about the tent.
My 2 favorite things about the tent is that it has 2 doors and that it has pockets for storage inside.
My 2 favorite things about the tent is it's very versatile because you can actually set this up with a ridge line. But I like the breeze through factor. I can open and close vestibules, lift the poles up and down at different settings to allow airflow and be able to control it based on the season and how I set the tent up. So those are my things. Now,
without saying, obviously, the weight.
The weight, yes. You can't beat the weight at basically 2.5 pounds is what I like to call it. Things I don't like. I like the weight, but I think that compared to other tents, it could be made lighter. There are ways. And there should be a new version coming out. The Lanshan 2 Pro should be coming out, and we're looking at that being just around 2 pounds is what I'm hearing. So, but that's a single wall tent. So there could be more moisture and condensation issues, so that's the trade-off. So that was my one bad thing. Anything on yours?
Nope, I love the tent. I think it fits us perfect.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to find what works for you. This works for us. I would buy it again in a moment. And in fact, the moment the Lanshan Pro comes on the market, we're going to buy it. That way we have both. And we actually have talked, and we are, even though we don't think we need it, we are probably going to buy the winter insert that goes in this tent. Just to have it. Just because we love the product so much and we want to see kind of how it works out. So until next time, guys, we can't recommend the tent high enough. I'm Tony.
I'm Missy. And we'll see you in the next one.